When we imagine Vikings surviving the brutal winters of Scandinavia, most people picture roaring fires and endless piles of wood. But the reality is far more impressive. Vikings didn't rely solely on burning fuel to keep warm. They engineered their homes to capture, store, and circulate heat naturally. This was deliberate, not accidental. Every timber, wall, and floor played a role in maintaining comfort, even on the coldest nights. For modern survivalists, history enthusiasts, and, honestly, anyone interested in low-energy living, understanding this trick offers a blueprint that still works today. Why did Vikings focus on conserving heat rather than generating it endlessly? Well, fuel was precious, especially in the long, dark winters. Gathering, transporting, and rationing firewood consumed enormous time and effort. Vikings understood that warmth was more efficiently conserved than continuously created. They designed homes that retained heat from sunlight, body warmth, and even occasional fires. The principle is simple in any space. Preventing heat loss is often more effective than increasing heat input. Modern applications are direct, seal drafts, insulate walls and floors, and make every bit of existing warmth count. How did sun-facing windows and thermal mass absorb and radiate heat? Even in northern latitudes with low winter sunlight, Viking homes were oriented to maximize solar gain. Sunlight would fall on stone floors, wooden walls, and hearth surrounds, which absorbed heat during the day and radiated it slowly at night. Today, the same principle is applied in passive solar design. Placing dark, dense surfaces in sunlit areas creates natural heating. Thermal mass, whether stone, brick, or concrete, stores energy and releases it gradually, reducing the need for continuous heating. Why partially sunk floors kept indoor temperatures stable. Many Viking longhouses were partially dug into the earth. This was not only for structural stability or wind protection, it leveraged the ground's relatively stable temperature. The soil remained warmer than the air in winter and cooler in summer, naturally moderating indoor climate. Modern adaptations include earth-bermed walls, sunken basements, or semi-sunken sleeping areas, all of which reduce energy needs by using the environment itself as insulation. So let's talk about how thick walls and layered construction really trapped warmth. Viking walls were built for retention, not for speed, Timber frames were layered with turf, moss, straw, and clay. These dense walls trapped air, blocked drafts, and provided natural insulation. Pretty clever, honestly. Turf walls added thermal mass, which meant they could absorb heat during the day and then release it at night. Nowadays, dense walls, multi-layered insulation, and interior thermal mass surfaces can actually replicate this same effect. In practice, even a simple earthen or stone wall can significantly reduce heating requirements while still remaining historically authentic. So, why did animals contribute to room warmth? Well, Vikings often kept livestock under or near their living areas. Animal body heat would naturally rise through the floors and walls, supplementing the warmth that people generated themselves. Modern households can actually apply this principle in creative ways. For example, kitchens, greenhouses, or even mechanical rooms produce heat that can be redirected to living areas. Even small interventions, like just opening doors to capture residual heat, actually follow the same logic that Vikings used instinctively. Let's talk about how compact spaces and low ceilings improved efficiency. Viking interiors were intentionally kept compact. By having low ceilings and smaller rooms, they concentrated heat right where it was needed, really minimizing wasted volume. Today, energy-conscious design can mimic this approach, Close off unused rooms, use partitions or curtains to reduce heated volume, and focus warmth where people live. Concentrating heat in occupied spaces is far more efficient than attempting to heat large empty areas. Why controlled ventilation maintained warmth without sacrificing air quality? Vikings understood that sealed homes could become dangerous. Smoke holes, small windows, and roof gaps allowed stale air and moisture to escape while minimizing heat loss. Warm air exited high, cool air entered low, and passive circulation maintained comfort. Modern applications include high-low vents, thermal chimneys, or carefully placed openings that allow airflow without sacrificing energy efficiency. Proper ventilation is, really critical to avoid moisture problems while still retaining warmth. Let's talk about how occasional fires worked with the home's design. Fires were actually used strategically rather than continuously. Hearths were kept low, surrounded by stone, and designed to radiate heat efficiently. The stone absorbed warmth during the fire and released it slowly afterward, keeping rooms comfortable without constant fuel use. Modern masonry heaters and rocket mass stoves follow this same principle. A short, well-managed fire can warm a room for hours, drastically reducing energy consumption. Why the Viking approach is still relevant today. The brilliance of Viking home design was its systemic approach to warmth. They didn't rely solely on fire. They harnessed thermal mass, insulation, passive solar gain, animal heat, and airflow to create comfort with minimal fuel. For historians, survivalists, and anyone interested in energy efficiency, these homes offer timeless lessons in resilience. Intelligent design and conservation often outperform brute force heating, and Viking techniques prove it. If you want to explore more forgotten survival strategies, ancient ingenuity, and practical historical lessons, subscribe to Relic Logic. Share this with fellow enthusiasts, and keep alive the knowledge that allowed Vikings to survive freezing winters without ever depending on endless fuel.